Hello all. Welcome to day 8 of 100 days to CAT Quant series. In this video, we will be discussing 5 questions from Arithmetic. So whenever you see a question on the screen, please pause the video, try solving that question. Once you're done solving, you can resume the video. Now coming to the first question. Shobha's mathematics test had a total of 75 problems, out of which 10 are from Arithmetic, 30 from algebra, and 35 from geometry. Although she answered 70% of arithmetic, so 70% of 10, 7 questions correct, 40% of algebra, 40% of 30, 12, and 60% of geometry problems. Right, so 10% is 3.5, 20% is 7, so 60% would be 21. So 7 plus 12, 19, 19 plus 21, 40. So she had answered 40 questions correctly, right? Still, she did not pass the test because she got less than 60% of the problems. So 60% of what? 60% of total 75 questions. Now what is 60% of 75? 10% is 7.5, 20% is 50, right? So 60% would be into 3, 45. So in order to pass that exam, she had to answer 45 questions correctly, but she answered only 40. Right, what was asked? How many more questions she would have needed to answer correctly to earn a 60% pass grade? So she had to answer 5 more questions correctly. So the answer for this question should be option B. Coming to the second question. A dealer buys dry fruit at the rate of rupees 100, rupees 80, rupees 60 per kg. So there are 3 types of dry fruits. He bought them in the ratio 12 is to 15 is to 20. Right. He in total gets 20% profit by selling the first two, and at last he finds he has no gain, no loss in selling the whole quantity which he had. Right. So, for example, what would be the cost price of 12 kgs? Now, let me assume that he bought 12 kgs of dry fruits of 100 rupees per kg, 15 kgs of 80 rupees per kg, and 20 kgs of 60 rupees per kg. So, the cost price would be 1200, 1200, and 1200. Right. Now he in total gets 20% profit by selling the first two. Right. So he spent a total of 2400 rupees. He got 20% profit. What is 20% of 2400? 480. Right. And at last he finds he has no gain, no loss. Right. Now after selling the third variety, he finds that he had no gain, no loss. So there should be a loss of 480 rupees, right, while selling this variety. Okay. So he sold this for 480 rupees less than 1200. Now what was asked? What was the percentage loss he suffered for the third quantity? Now he sold them at a loss of 480 by 1200 into 100, which is nothing but 40%. Hence option A should be the answer. Now coming to the third question. The difference between the simple interest received from two different sources on rupees 1500. So rupees 1500 was the principal, right? Now let this be simple interest in case 1, simple interest in case 2. The difference for a period of 3 years is 13 rupees 50 paise. Right. Now we are asked to find the difference between the rate of interest. Now, if there is a difference of 13 rupees 50 paise for a period of 3 years, we know that under simple interest, the simple interest will remain same for each year until and unless there is a change in rate of interest. Now, since there is no change in the rate of interest here, so in 1 year, the difference would be 4 rupees 50 paise. Right. So the difference between the simple interest in these two cases would be 4 rupees 50 paise. Now this 4 rupees 50 paise is accrued on what? The principal 1500. So by 1500 into 100. So this is nothing but 0.3%. So the answer for this question should be option C. Now coming to the fourth question. In a conference hall, there are people in blue and yellow dresses. So blue and yellow. The ratio of the number of women in blue to the number of men in yellow is 3:2. So we have men we have women. Ratio of women in blue to the number of men in yellow is 3 is to 2. So if I consider this as 3x, this would be 2x. And the ratio of number of men in blue to the number of women in yellow is 3 is to 5. So if I consider this as 3y, this would be 5y. If the ratio of number of people in blue to the number of people in yellow is 21 is to 23. Now number of people in blue would be 3x plus 3y by to the number of people in yellow 2x plus 5y is equal to 21 by 23. Sevens. Now this would be 23x plus 23y is equal to 14x plus 35y, right? Or sending 14x to the left hand side and 23y to the right hand side. 23 minus 14, 9x is equal to 35 minus 23, 12y, or x by y is equal to 4 by 3. Okay, now we have the ratio of x and y. Then what is the ratio of number of men to number of women in the conference hall? Now number of men 3y plus 2x by 3x plus 5y. Now since this is again the ratio, I'll replace x with 4 and y with 3. Now this would be 9 plus 8 by 9, sorry, x is for 12 plus 15. Now this is nothing but 17 by 27. So the answer for this question should be option C. Now coming to the fifth question. 3 maths classes X, Y and Z take an algebra test. So you have class X, class Y, class Z. Now the average score in class X is 83. The average score in class Y is 76. And the average score in class Z is 85. Now the average score in the average score of all students in X and Y together is 79, and the average score of all the students in classes Y and Z together is 81. Now we are asked to find the average of all the 3 classes, right? Now applying alligation here, the ratio of the number of students in the classes X and Y would be 3 is to 4, and of classes Y and Z would be 85 minus 81, 4 is to 5. So the ratio of students in classes X, Y and Z is 3 is to 4 is to 5. Right. Now we are asked to find the weighted average of these 3 averages. So we have 3 into 83, that would be 249 plus 4 into 76, 280 plus 24, 304 plus 425 by 3 plus 4 plus 5, 12. Now this is 200 plus 300, 500 plus 400, 900, 49, or 4 plus 25, 29, 29 plus 49, 40 plus 20, 60, 60 plus 18, 78 by 12. Now this is 12 eighths, 96, 18, 112, 81.5. So the answer for this question should be option B.